video game!
These nominees were announced today for the Game Awards, and there's a big controversy, and I do want your guys' thoughts on that. Brandon says Rebirth, and it was an easy call. Yes, Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was nominated, and you guys know. I mean, come on, you guys know that's my pick. I was thinking like, yeah, I'm biased, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody's biased. Everybody is, because you're picking what you think is the best game. So there's no different biases. Everybody's biased. Whatever you think is the best game, you're going to pick. So throw that bias stuff out the window. Scott's going with Rebirth. So what do we have besides Rebirth? But yes, you guys know. I'm going with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's been my game of the year. Before I even played it, it was my game of the year, right? Easy. So what else do we got nominated? Well, we got Astro Bot. I don't know if it's Balatro or Balatro. I'm not sure. Black Myth Wukong. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. And Metaphor ReFantazio. Scott says his game of the year is not selected. So what is yours? What would you have on here that's not here? You're going with Rebirth out of these 6. But what's missing for you? Which one would you have on there? Scott votes Karate Kid Street Rumble. Astro Bot. You guys know I played that start to finish. Loved Astro Bot. Balatro or Balatro? Again, I apologize. I had not heard of this game till the other day because somebody else I was watching that was predicting the Game of the Year nominees actually predicted this one. And I'm like, what the hell is that? What is he talking about? And the damn thing was nominated. So I looked this up. It's apparently a poker game. Like a deck, rogue type poker deck building game. I don't know. But apparently it's one of the most addicting games there is. So I can't comment on that. I haven't seen it. I don't know a thing about it. Black Myth Wukong. I have not played, but I've watched the entire playthrough, so I know about the game, but I don't know how it feels to play. Metaphor ReFantazio. I've watched a few people play it. I have not played it myself. I figured that would get nominated, and Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. So let's start with Astro Bot. Astro Bot was funny, wasn't it? A lot of people love Astro Bot. It definitely deserves to be here. Based on my opinion of playing the game, I would have it, if I had to pick my 6, it would be in there. Do I think it's going to win? I have no idea. I don't know how these people are going to vote. The thing about Astro Bot, it's fun, it's funny, it's a good family game. It controls phenomenally. It controls amazingly. What you want to do, where you want to go, where you want to land, that's going to happen. You guys know what I'm talking about when you play a game and you're like, I didn't want to jump there. That's not what I was trying to do. This doesn't feel right. You know the difference between that and a game where what you're trying to do, you do. You jump where you want to jump. You land where you're trying to land. You grab a ledge you're trying to grab. That game's got phenomenal controls. And it does have a lot of inspiration from a lot of other 3D platformers, but I think it does its own uniqueness, and I think it's fun. So like I said, Balatro, I don't know anything about this. Apparently it has a big following. Black Myth Wukong, like I said, I have not played this. I'm surprised. Well, I don't know. I mean, this one got talked up. This is my opinion on this game, strictly from a viewer's standpoint. I'm making that disclaimer again. Strictly from a viewer's standpoint. I have not played it, but I have seen it. And just from watching it, to me, the game gets a little repetitive and boring very quickly. I look at games that are similar to that, and one that came out this year, Stellar Blade. I played the demo of Stellar Blade. I have not played the whole game. I've watched a ton of it, though. So just comparing those two, and again, I've not played Black Myth. I've only seen it. To me, Stellar Blade would have been the better option of these two, in my opinion. So, I'm not saying Black Myth doesn't deserve to be here. I'm just saying if you had to go one or the other, I would have chosen Stellar Blade over this. It just looks, I don't know. Again, I haven't played it. It could feel great to play. A lot of people that I've watched play it didn't finish it. And to me, that tells me that they just kind of got bored. Because that's how it came. It was very repetitive. It's the same type of combat, the stick weapon the entire time. Where I think Stellar Blade is more unique and a similar style game. Metaphor. That's got a big diehard audience. Very long RPG. It's very creative. It's got an amazing art style. The music's great. The dialogue is good. Like I said, I haven't played it. The combat looks fun. I can understand why that game's here. Rebirth, we know. Rebirth is my game of the year. I think it's the most amazing experience in gaming this year, by far. My opinion. That's all it is. I do like how the picture here, they went with the Aerith and Tifa picture instead of the Cloud and Zack one. We need to talk about this Elden Ring. Listen. They changed the rules for this. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, or Erdtree, is a DLC. Okay? It's a DLC for Elden Ring. They changed the rules to allow DLCs to be named Game of the Year for this game. Final Boss is going with Rebirth. Elden Ring won Game of the Year in 2022. Its DLC may now win Game of the Year 2 years later. This is why I don't think it should count. Can you go to the store? Can you go on Steam? Can you go on the Xbox or the PlayStation Store and just buy Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree? You can't. You have to buy Elden Ring, and you have to get to a particular point in that game to even play this. So how can something that you can't purchase on its own and play be considered a game? That's my problem with this. I can't just go buy this game if I want to play that game. No, I have to buy another game, play that for a little bit, so then I can play this one. There's no way, in my opinion, that this should count, and it's nothing against the quality of this thing, right? It doesn't matter. It's the concept of having a DLC for Game of the Year. It's an add-on to a game that already exists. It's not a new game. It's new content for an existing game that you can't purchase by itself and play. So I think it's nuts. I think it's nuts that this is nominated. And you look at all the things that weren't. King hasn't played any. I'm sure you've seen a bunch of these, so you can still make your choice if you've seen any of them. So let's talk what could be here that's not. I already mentioned Stellar Blade, because in my opinion, it's a similar style game to Black Myth, and I think I would put that one over Black Myth. But that's not to say that Black Myth shouldn't be here, because I would put Black Myth over Elden Ring. If I had to do my top 6, Rebirth is there, Astro Bot's there. I would also have, this is my personal top 6. This is not me looking at it as a critic. Oh, looking at all the things that make up the game and the quality and all this. No, me, fun, playing game. What are my favorite games to play this year that came out? What would my top 6 be? Rebirth, Astro Bot, Tekken 8, Silent Hill 2, Zelda. I would probably put Stellar Blade in there. I played the demo. I get why people love it. I was terrible at it. That's why I didn't get the game and continue on. I knew I wouldn't get very far. But I did play the demo. If you guys want to see me play that and how awful I was, it is on my YouTube. Alan Wake 2 came out last year, so it doesn't count. That game came out last year. Astro Bot is Nelson's choice. It was fun as hell to watch you play through. So what do you guys think is missing? Because to me, I'm taking... It's not fair. Well, I mean, listen, everything is a bias because you're making your own personal choices. If somebody's choosing Game of the Year, there's a bias there. Everybody has a bias because you're picking what you think is the best. Balatro may be deserving, but I don't know anything about it, so I wouldn't have it there. I would have Silent Hill 2 Remake there. I know some people are like, oh, remakes shouldn't be on there. I think if they deliver enough of a new version of the game where it's a brand new game from start to finish, I think that's okay in my opinion. Like Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4, Remake, Rebirth, Silent Hill 2. I think those are all okay. I think they're brand new experiences. What do you guys think about Black Myth Wukong? Have you guys played it? Have you watched it? Am I off base on that? Is it better than Stellar Blade in your opinion? What do you guys think of the DLC on there, man? Am I off base? This is the argument for it. There's more content in this DLC, in this Shadow of the Erdtree. There's more content in that than most other games that came out this year. That's their argument for it. King's going with Rebirth as well. People who are unaware would probably love to play Erdtree, but don't realize you have to get to a certain point. Yeah, that's my argument against it. I have to buy Elden Ring and that. And then I have to play the regular Elden Ring to get to a certain point to play that. So to me, anything that you can't just buy and play on its own, I don't think counts as a game. It's an expansion. So they're changing this is the first time they've changed the rule for this. This could open the floodgates. And I think it's going to lead to a lot of double winners instead of, like, Elden Ring won in 2022. Elden Ring won Game of the Year. You're telling me it's going to win again? Is that good for the industry? I don't know. I don't think so. I think a lot of people that disagree with this are Elden Ring diehards. The only people that, in my opinion, think yes, it should be on there are people that love it and they're Elden Ring stands and they want it to win. I don't think anybody, tell me if you disagree, but I don't think anybody would objectively think that a DLC should be considered for Game of the Year. Because I don't know. What do you guys think? Burn it down. Wukong was fun to watch, but I couldn't stick to it when one boss took multiple hours. I feel like you should play second or even third. See, the thing with Wukong with me, like, looking at it, I think the game is gorgeous. There's a lot of positives to it. I was having a blast watching people play it at first, but then it was like, it's the same shit over and over. Now, playing it, it may not feel that way. But watching it, that's all I got to go by. Watching it, it felt the same over and over. People might think that watching Rebirth, but when you really play Rebirth, you feel you're doing different shit all the time. Maybe Wukong feels that way if you're actually playing it. I don't know. I haven't played it. So I can only go by what I've seen. And to me, Stellar Blade would have been the better choice there. But I would still have it there probably anyway, because I would have had it over Elden Ring. It's very silly. It's a DLC and not a standalone game. It's an add-on. Yeah. It's nothing to do with the quality of this thing. Like I said, I haven't played it. You guys have heard me talk about this numerous times. I am terrible at From Software games. Dark Souls, Bloodborne. I've never played Sekiro, but I would suck at it. I've never played Elden Ring, but I would suck at it. So I haven't played it. So it has nothing to do with that. It's probably amazing, but that's not the conversation that I'm having. The conversation I'm having is whether it qualifies as a game or not. Animal Well. That's another one. Animal Well. A lot of people think Animal Well should have been on there. I played that. You guys, if you watched me, I rage quit that one. And it had nothing to do with the quality of the game. And I had to keep doing the same shit over and over and over and over to get to the one part where I couldn't get over the water. So it took me forever to get back to the part that I couldn't do. And I hate that. To me, that's busy work. And so I stopped playing that. But I was having fun with that game up to that point. And I can see why a lot of people think that game should be nominated for Game of the Year. So that's another one that I think is in the conversation. But this Elden Ring thing, who made that decision, right? Where does that decision come from? Is that just a Jeff Keighley thing? It's my awards. I'm changing the rules, and that's that? Okay, fine. I get that. But was there pressure from outside people? Why make that change? What's making them say, you know what? We don't want to have 6 new games on here this year. We want to bring attention again to a game that came out 2 years ago. Its expansion. I think the entire bottom row is also up for RPG of the year. So yeah, it's not Rebirth ain't guaranteed anything. I'm gonna be really disappointed if it doesn't win the soundtrack. Although Stellar Blade, it's going against Stellar Blade, and Stellar Blade has an amazing soundtrack. I mean, I'm rooting for Rebirth. I'm not gonna be disappointed if it doesn't win, because it's still my game of the year. But I think I would be disappointed if the Elden Ring DLC won, because of what that means for awards. Because, like, games could double dip now. Elden Ring would be double dipping. Now we're at the point where a really awesome game can just win twice if it puts out DLC. I don't think that's right. The time advantage goes to Metaphor. That's the most recent game. That's the freshest on people's minds. Yeah, Chadley might hold it back, Scott. If they lose, we're blaming Chadley. Anderson not playing any of these games, but I would go Final Fantasy. Has really enjoyed watching you play it. Cool. Yeah, you guys can vote. Anybody can vote for this. You just go to thegameawards.com. Best fighting game. Wow. This is interesting. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection is up for best fighting game. That is an awesome collection that I'm going to get. But I don't think that should be up for best fighting game because it's nothing new. It's just a collection of older games. That's dangerous to me too. I voted for her too, Scott. Yeah, the voice actress for Aerith is up. What was weird to me, I don't know if they fixed that. When I voted today, it didn't have it just showed what game they were in. It didn't show the character they played, which I thought was weird. But yeah, I voted for her for voice actor. Yeah, esports team, esports athlete. I didn't vote for any of this stuff. I don't know any of this. Yeah, best performance. It just says Brianna White, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It doesn't say that she's Aerith. Like, so these other people, I don't know who they are. Like, I've played Silent Hill 2. Luke Roberts is up for Silent Hill 2. Okay, who was Luke Roberts in Silent Hill 2? This should tell you that. I mean, I'm assuming that he was James, but, like, you don't know that. So, most anticipated game, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach. That's really, it's got a subtitle called On the Beach. Death Stranding 2, On the Beach. Ghosts of Yotei, GTA 6, Metroid Prime 4, and Monster Hunter Wilds. I don't see any world where GTA 6 doesn't win that one. Best multiplayer. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. I did vote for Tekken 8 for that one. It's the only one I played. Best score and music. Astro Bot. We did like the Astro Bot music. Rebirth. That's my pick. Metaphor has good music. I haven't heard the entire game's music. Silent Hill 2 has a good... I think that qualifies for the score part of score and music. I think Silent Hill 2's music and score was atmospheric and added to the tension, in my opinion. And then Stellar Blade has an amazing soundtrack. From what I've heard of these, I go Rebirth 1, Stellar Blade 2, Astro Bot 3, Silent Hill 4, and Metaphor 5. Best independent game. I mean, doesn't Balatro or Balatro have to win that by default? Think about this. These are the games up for best independent game. Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50. If Balatro or Balatro does not win best independent game, how can you even say that it deserves to be on this list right here for Game of the Year? It should automatically win best independent game. Automatically. If it doesn't, how is it here? I just think it will be bad if Elden Ring wins. I think it's already bad that it was nominated. I think it will be doubly bad if it wins. What's up, Elixtris? How you doing? Chips Challenge. What the hell is Chips Challenge? I didn't even see this on the list of any award. What in the hell is this? This came out in 1989. Any AI game? I mean, are there AI games? I may ban people. Like, if they come out with AI games and you play them, I may ban you from the chat. That might be an automatic ban if you play AI games. Go Rebirth!